Toronto may not be a city especially known for its holiday celebrations, but I assure you, when you know where to dig, there's plenty of festive pockets to discover. Hi, I'm Christina from happytowander.com, and in this video, I'll be taking you on a virtual tour of Toronto's top holiday destinations and experiences. So, I hope you enjoy it, and be sure to stick around until the end because I'm saving the best for last. We'll kick things off with a classic. The start of the festive season in Toronto is marked by a century-old tradition known as the original Toronto Santa Claus Parade. Since its inception in 1905, this beloved Toronto event has been one of the main highlights of the city's festive calendar, with 20-plus floats sponsored by various organizations and businesses, 10 marching bands, and even an appearance from the big man himself to end the parade on a high. From start to finish, the parade takes about 2.5 hours to weave its way through downtown Toronto, with hundreds of participants representing the city's diverse makeup. Special guests of honor include local broadcasters, the city mayor, plus an eerie and inexplicable amount of clowns. My personal highlight, however, was probably the walking mailboxes who were actively collecting letters to Santa, or maybe the walking Tim Hortons cups for optimal Canadian cuteness. Hands down, if you're looking for a wholesome, family-friendly Christmas activity in Toronto, make sure you time your visit for this one. The next Toronto holiday must-do is a visit to the Distillery Winter Village. Formerly known as the Toronto Christmas Market, the Distillery Winter Village is the largest and most popular festive market in the city. The location? Of course, Toronto's famous Distillery District, a historic piece of the city filled with Victorian industrial buildings, lovingly restored as a modern hub for culture, community, and capitalism. I mean, shopping and dining. The atmosphere here feels worlds away from the glassy high-rises that engulf the downtown area nearby, with cobblestone streets and red brick buildings acting as a scenic backdrop to festive cabins selling ornaments, gifts, and plenty of food and drink. The centerpiece of the event is no doubt the 56-foot Christmas tree, sponsored glamorously this year by Dior. Although the giant Christmas countdown is another Instagram favorite. All this in addition to the Distillery District's usual offerings of food and shopping, and it's easy to see why so many visitors flock to this event every year. Be warned though, the crowds here can get intense, and admission is charged on weekend evenings after 4 p.m., so be sure to plan your visit for an off-peak period, ideally on a weekday or before 4 p.m. to make the most of your experience. Sure, the atmosphere becomes a lot more magical at night, but it's much easier to justify spending $20 on a sausage and a bun when you don't have to wait in line forever for it. And don't forget that the district is home to a number of permanent vendors selling more affordable treats without the Christmas market markup, like Tartistry for instance, which sells the most amazing butter tarts. Next, let's move on to some fun holiday things to do around downtown Toronto. While primarily a business district, there are still sprinkles of festive cheer spread around this part of town, from office buildings with their own trees and lights set up, to more extravagant affairs, like at the luxurious Fairmont Royal York. The holiday season is a big deal at the Fairmont, where a glittering Christmas tree is set up in the lobby every year, along with an array of fun festive activities, including this year their own Gingerbread Way, with over 8,000 freshly baked gingerbread bricks pieced together with real icing and candy. Best of all, members of the public are free to come in and admire the decorations, even if they're not staying at the hotel. Just be sure to not steal any candy, which I sadly did notice during my visit. Close by, you'll also find some festive cheer at Eaton Centre, one of the largest shopping malls in Canada. They're so hardcore with Christmas that even the king of Christmas himself, Michael Bublé, made a guest appearance at the start of the season. While of course Eaton Centre is just a mall, it's a pretty huge one, with over 200 retailers to browse and even a pop-up kiosk selling very cute personalized ornaments. The main festive highlights though are part of the mall's Winterville program, which includes visits with Santa and fun light installations like big reindeer and a lit archway in Trinity Square. The mall's main attraction for the holidays, though, is its Christmas tree, which displays a 3-minute light show 4 times a day, complete with its own little snow flurry. Take a look and enjoy. Unfortunately, while the window displays at Hudson Bay Company are typically hyped up every year, this year they didn't appear to be doing much. Luckily, there were some other fun installations to be found around the mall windows, like these Dream Machine windows on Yonge Street, created in collaboration with the Ontario Science Centre. Made by whimsical British inventor Roland Emmett, these kinetic sculptures are made of mainly everyday objects that move to music. Be sure to stick around until they're activated. They're absolutely amazing. Another highlight of the festive season in downtown Toronto is at Nathan Phillips Square, where you can enjoy a skating rink with the Toronto City Hall and the photogenic Toronto sign as a pretty backdrop. This year, there was also a small cavalcade of lights, which consisted of a few light installations just behind the iconic rink. While the square used to be home to the Holiday Fair in the Square event, this market was relocated this year to North York in Mel Lastman Square and was sadly closed the day I wanted to visit. While wandering Toronto's downtown for festive magic though, it's also worth heading towards Old Town, where you'll find St. Lawrence Market, a historic Toronto institution that has been serving the local community for over 200 years. Home to over 100 vendors, this is an ideal place to warm up and grab a bite to eat. Although don't expect too many festive vibes in the market itself. If you're starved for lights and cheer though, that can be easily rectified with some stops close by, including one of my personal favorite places in Toronto, the Bursey Park Dog Fountain, which features sculptures of 27 dog breeds, many of which are seen sporting festive scarves and hats during the holiday season. While roaming around this area, you can also duck into Brookfield Place next to the Hockey Hall of Fame and encounter some surprisingly festive light installations, including a lit-up arch and a dazzling set of Christmas wreaths. Besides these signature Toronto Christmas events, you'll also find festive pop-ups in downtown Toronto and beyond. These vary year to year and truthfully vary quite a bit in quality as well, but here are some of the ones I got to experience this year. First up, the Holiday Street Market at the CN Tower. The CN Tower is likely an attraction you've heard of or seen before. Once the world's tallest structure, today the tower is a symbol synonymous with the city, and probably Toronto's most visited tourist attraction. Though not particularly festive, it does light up in fun colors at nighttime, and this year they introduced a new festive fair known as their Holiday Street Market, taking place from Fridays to Sundays. To be honest, during my visit, the market seemed fairly minimal, with only a handful of food stalls open and a few still actively under construction. I'm hoping the market will fill out more throughout the season though, just keep your expectations in check. Another new pop-up can be found at The Well, one of the latest additions to downtown Toronto's public spaces. This mixed-use development includes retail, residence, and office space, with a unique focus on pedestrian traffic and a community vibe. This was another spot advertising festive happenings in downtown Toronto, though during my visit it seemed like most places were still waiting to open. As spaced out as they are though, there are a handful of cute festive things to admire here, including a festive light tunnel, a holiday yurt pop-up, and I've heard that they do a projected light show on the ceiling too. Another pop-up nearby is the Stacked Holiday Hills Market. Known as the largest shipping container market on the continent, Stacked Market gets a nice festive makeover during the holidays, with fire pits, table curling, twinkly lights, and of course, lots of opportunities for shopping as well. This unique market is known for its focus on uplifting local businesses, with 20+ vendors setting up shop in repurposed shipping containers. I visited this market on a very rainy evening, so it wasn't the most bustling event by any means, but I still enjoyed seeing some of the light installations and also enjoyed a quick drink at the festively decorated Blue Moon Brewery. Beyond downtown Toronto though, it has to be said that much of what draws visitors to the city and what keeps the city's millions of residents happy are the many pockets of food, drink, and shopping found in diverse neighborhoods scattered around the city. While this means sometimes having to plan strategically and do some hopping around modes of transport, what the city lacks in compact walkability, it makes up for with options. One of the more upscale options can be found at the Bloor Yorkville Holiday Magic, where luxury shops can be found in abundance, alongside a small festive calendar including light installations and pop-ups. Most of the main installations can be found in the village of Yorkville Park, with lit-up trees all along Bloor Street West, and some additional displays to be spotted in shop windows and in smaller lanes around the neighborhood. Another great area for shopping and eating especially is Queen Street West. This street is home to a number of both chain and independent retailers and is considered one of the top shopping areas of the city. One nice spot for holiday shopping is the Welcome Market, a small but cute marketplace to pick up gifts from local makers. But another shop I highly recommend checking out is the Grand Order of Divine Sweets, which sells the most epic fandom-themed chocolate and candy creations perfect for gifting. Whether you're shopping for a fan of Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, or just chocolate in general, this is a super cute shop to grab gifts. Close by this area as well, you'll find some very festive and delicious places to grab a bite, including Papi Chulo, which I'll discuss more later, as well as the tremendously popular spots on the Ossington Strip. Now on that note, another festive thing to do in Toronto is visit a festive bar. There's options aplenty if you want to grab a drink somewhere festive in Toronto. The downside, many of the city's holiday pop-ups, if reviews are to go by, can leave a lot to be desired. What I'd recommend is prioritizing places that are open year-round and happen to have a holiday event rather than pop-ups that are built just for the season. As I mentioned earlier, I ended up at Papi Chulo's for their mistletoe and margarita pop-up, and I thought that the decor was amazing, but so were the margaritas and tacos. In any case, make sure you check reviews before you book a holiday pop-up, because sometimes it's tough to tell which ones make the nice list. And lastly, saving the best for last as promised, if there's one magical Christmas experience in Toronto you can't miss, for me, it's the Casa Loma holiday lights. While elsewhere in the city, the decor can be so sparsely spread that it doesn't feel overly Christmassy, at Casa Loma you're fully immersed in festive cheer, with everything from sparkling light displays in the gardens to more immersive setups that make use of giant teddy bears, animatronics, and more. Known as Toronto's own castle on a hill, this beautiful mansion has been around since the 1910s and was constructed in Gothic Revival style with a hefty budget of $3.5 million, or the equivalent of over $100 million today. Featured countless times in movies and TV shows too, odds are you've probably seen Casa Loma before without even knowing. And it becomes all the more magical during the holidays, obviously. During the festive season, Casa Loma puts on two different events: Christmas at the Castle, which is its usual visit route with a sprinkle of additional holiday magic through Christmas decor and performances, and the Casa Loma Holiday Lights, which takes place mostly outdoors in the castle gardens after the main castle has closed. With plenty of whimsical displays and fun characters roaming around, plus a few shows each evening for entertainment, I was very pleasantly surprised by how much was included in the entry ticket, which might seem steep at first, but in my opinion is actually really worth it for what you get. A unique highlight is a chance to walk through the castle's 800-foot tunnel system, which connects the main part of the castle to the hunting lodge and stables. During the holiday season, this becomes an elaborately festive tunnel of lights and installations, which leads you all the way to see Santa himself. And while certain displays definitely seem like recycled props from their Halloween event, I still enjoyed this spot very much, and consider it the most festive event to enjoy in Toronto. Although I'd recommend booking the last time slot possible to minimize crowds. Finally, it's worth mentioning that this video so far has focused on festive things to do in the city of Toronto. But expand your search to the Greater Toronto Area and beyond, and you'll find many more noteworthy festive experiences. Be sure to check out the written version of this guide for a more complete list of suggestions. If you're up for a bit of a longer day trip, you can do as I did and book a day trip to the iconic Niagara Falls, famed for its epic cascades framed by rainbows. When you visit on a nice day, that is. Granted, the weather wasn't exactly on our side during this visit, but it's worth mentioning because Niagara Falls during the festive season is home to the annual Niagara Falls Festival of Lights, which decorates the area with various light installations over an 8-kilometer or 5-mile path, and includes even fireworks on select dates throughout the season. Once the rain cleared and we could somewhat see the falls themselves illuminated with all the pretty colors, I can confirm it was actually pretty magical. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's tour of Toronto at Christmas time. If you did, be sure to like and subscribe for more travel videos just like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!